Hi, everybody. Today we're going to talk about one of the outstanding organizations in Canada and Canadian agriculture called the Outstanding Young Farmers of Canada organizations. We have Amy Cronin from Blue Vale, Ontario. I think you're on a dairy farming operation, Amy, is that correct?
No, I am on a pig and chicken operation.
Oh, well, I apologize. So you hogs and feathers. Okay. And
That's
so how
right.
are things today?
Things are great today. Thank you so much for asking. It's
All right.
beautiful and sunny here in Ontario. So beans are
What?
coming off and corn is ripening. It's a beautiful day.
We have great weather in central Alberta. I'm staring at a field around bales across the way. So the guys have harvested the cereal grains and baled it up already. And so let's get started with the Outstanding Young Farmers of Canada. I attended the annual event last year in Lethbridge, outstanding event. And we're hosting the Outstanding Young Farmers annual event on AgVisor Pro. So if you guys haven't downloaded AgVisor Pro, please do so. It's free. And then join the Outstanding Young Farmer community on AgVisor Pro. Amy, a little bit about the Outstanding Young Farmers and its legacy, a little bit about it, because it's an energetic group, but it hasn't been around just as of yesterday. It's been around a while.
Very true. So, Outstanding Young Farmers started actually it started in Calgary with the junior chamber there. And they decided that they wanted to create a program that would just, accentuate excellence in agriculture. And that's where Outstanding Young Farmers was born. And it eventually encompassed different regions from across the country. And that program has grown to be one that attracts some of the very best in agriculture from across this country. And every year we're excited to have 7 new finalists come to a national program vying for the title of Outstanding Young Farmer.
I watched last year, and my impression was it's so amazing because we think of farming. You're in hogs and you're in chickens and feathers, and we think about agriculture as ranching or cropping. But the diversity in the people that were applying for the Outstanding Young Farmer of Canada awards was all over the map, and I think particularly the couple around Quebec that were running that amazing. Well, they had like 1,000 SKUs they were selling to consumers.
Right.
So it's not just what you think, right?
Well, agriculture is so diverse in Canada because of all of the different climates that we have across this country. And I think we're quite fortunate to attract farmers from many different backgrounds to come into this program. I think it must be awfully difficult, for these judges when they're looking at these different operations from different climates, from different regions, doing different things. It's like comparing apples to oranges and choosing one that might stand out above the others. At the end of the day, what I can say is that these are people who are innovative. These are people who look around them for opportunities and they take advantage of those, and it comes in many different shapes and sizes. And I think, quite frankly, that's what adds to this program. I think the fact that you can come together with individuals from so many different backgrounds and learn something from every single one adds so much value to the Outstanding Young Farmer program. I just think that it's the one place where I can go to network to really pick other people's brains, and I can get some really honest feedback about what's going on in my operation as well.
I run a peer group for farmers called a Power Farm Group, and one of the things that attracts those farmers together is that they get in a room with their peers and can share ideas. Farming is extremely lonely, especially if you're trying to be that person who's thinking outside of the box in your community, and everybody's kind of looking at you, say, "Why are you doing that?" It takes a certain amount of fortitude, and I think that what I experienced last year again was that these guys and gals were going there to reconnect and reinforce and rejuvenate their energy because they could be in a safe place to talk to each other about what's possible.
I think when you talk about having a safe place, you hit the nail on the head. It is a place where you can come and you can talk about your joys and your successes, and everyone's going to celebrate in your family and in your farm and in the work that you're doing and in the successes that you're seeing. But you're also going to have a group of people who are going to understand challenge and that are going to understand failure. And challenges and failures are inevitable in agriculture. I think that what gets you through, is this resilience and this determination to get back up again and to continue to forge on. And so this group does just that. It gives you exactly the support that you need to be able to forge on, whether it's joys or challenges, successes or failures. It's a group that really is a safe place to land. We get together in November every year. And I will say, when we first arrive at that end, it's like we come in skidding and tumbling. We've just gone through the whole year. Many people are just finishing up harvest. People are exhausted, quite frankly. And we're heading into 4 days of quite a bit of activity and quite a bit of networking and being on. And sometimes you think, oh my gosh, I'm just not sure that I've got the energy to get through this event. But inevitably, every single time, we are so filled by the people around us that we leave that event going, okay, we gotta go home. We gotta get to work. We got things to do. And we've got new ideas from the people that we've been talking to that we've got to get implemented on our farm. So fantastic place to be.
I viewed it as a shot of adrenaline in the arm. You go there and you are tired, but you get a shot of adrenaline. You go back to the farm and execute. One of the things I observed, Amy, was that there was intergenerational outstanding young farmers. So Richard Stamp, no longer a young farmer, but his son Greg is, and Greg's involved in the outstanding young farmer. But all of these alumni were there, and they're all supercharged as well. So who can join the outstanding young farmers?
We encourage everyone to get involved. You get involved first in your own region. And there are some pretty fantastic people in each of the regions, and there's a competition that's held there every year. And so there are definitely parameters around the program. We want to make sure that these are progressive farmers who are innovative, who are environmentally conscious, who are thinking about sustainability, thinking about marketing, thinking about their consumers, and a number of other things. Those are all of the things that they're judged on when they're talking to the judges about their own operation. And of course, they come bursting with passion and pride for what it is that they have built at home. And I think that encompasses a lot of farmers. So we want to encourage all of them to get involved. The winners from each of the regions are then welcome to this national event that's held once a year. And those 7 individuals or couples, sometimes there's 3 from a farm, come together to compete. But at the end of the day, they are all alumni, whether they win or lose. They're fantastic. And after a few years, you don't really know who the winners were and who the losers were, because they're all just fantastic individuals, and we're really happy to have them.
The Outstanding Young Farmer National Conference is coming up in Toronto. I believe it is at the end of November. We've set up a community on AgVisor Pro where anybody can download for free and join that community to learn more about it. So talk to us a little bit about the conference, the dates, the location, the theme, that sort of thing, Amy.
Yeah, so this year it's being held in Ontario. So it changes region to region each year. So as someone that's from Ontario and as the president of Canada's Outstanding Young Farmers, I'm really proud to be hosting it in our province this year. The planning committee is fantastic. They are such a talented group of individuals. It's called Toronto Bringing Country to the City. So it's being held in Toronto from November the 26th to the 30th. We're basing ourselves out of the Sheraton Hotel, But of course, as farmers, what do we want to do? We want to get out. We want to tour things. We want to have this ability to learn from that area, from that region, and also from the farmers that are there. So we have a number of fantastic tours that are lined up for those days. I will say the highlight is the honorees that come in, the finalists from each of the regions. And on the Friday, it is always my favorite time of this get together when each one of them presents their farms on stage. And every person that gets up there, we learn from. They are passionate and energetic. They've done incredible things to get to where they are. No two farmers are the same. These men and women they bring joy, but they bring such unique perspectives on agriculture. So we get to hear all of their stories, where they've come from, the challenges that they've overcome on their journey, where they are now, what their plans are for the future. And then we have a really nice banquet full of networking again. And then we have the winner that's announced. And there's just nothing like that day. It's that day that leaves us. That's the adrenaline shot that you were talking about. You go home and you think, wow, people are doing some really neat things. We can too.
The conversations go on at the various luncheons, on the buses, on the tours, and it doesn't end there because it usually lasts till about 2 o'clock in the morning. I know I enjoyed some very deep conversations if I could only remember them. But it's a really social atmosphere too. And again, it's like the people that are there are it's not like it's an elitist or anything, but you know that people in the room are there to talk about the art of the possible.
That's exactly right. It certainly is not elitist. And I wonder if sometimes that might be a misconception about the program. In fact, my experience is that a lot of these farmers that come to this event every year are extremely humble in what they do. And those conversations do go late into the night or into the early morning, but that is where the very best conversations happen on that weekend for sure. So it's a bunch of passionate people who have had good years and bad years, who have come together that are able to be really honest, because they've made really good friends with people that are in that program. And that's not always the way it is as a farmer. You spoke earlier about feeling isolated. I did a Nuffield project on business risk management. And one of the risks for farmers is that they are the everything on their farm. And they don't have a support system around them like a lot of other industries do. They don't have teams of people around them like they do in these big corporations. And they're making a lot of big decisions all the time. And some of them are winning decisions and some of them are losing propositions. And when they come together to Canada's Outstanding Young Farmers, they're able to trust the people that are in that room. They've got lifelong friends from that program. One example I'll give you is Richard Stamp. Richard is one of the intergenerational farmers. And from the very first event that Mike and I went to as the finalists from Ontario, he became first a friend and then a mentor. And we are able to give him a call when things are rough, when things are great, and they share in our joy, celebrate our successes, and help us through challenging times. That's what this program is all about.
So, Amy, talk to us as we're winding up here. Share a little bit about who would you like. Give us an overview of people who are welcome and how do they get involved and how do they just plug in to the Ontario or to the Outstanding Young Farmers of Canada program. I gotta say, Amy, you are such a great ambassador. You're so well spoken, so passionate. So yeah. Anyway.
Well, thank you so much. I'm very passionate about this program, and obviously the work I do, the program is totally volunteer, but it's because I just see so much value there for everyone that is involved. If you want to get involved, we've got a good website at Canada's Outstanding Young Farmers. You can go on there, and then on that website, you can go to each one of the regions. The very best way to get involved is to nominate a farmer. There are so many good farmers out there. But what we notice is that farmers don't like to be seen, right?
Mhm.
Farmers are really comfortable doing what they do on the farm, and they're not as comfortable getting up and talking about it. And in order to compete at a regional level, you got to get up and talk about it. But when they do get up and talk about it, it just changes them as a person. They benefit, but everyone else around them benefits from them as well. And so I would say nominate a farmer. We all know good farmers. They need to
Yeah.
be under the age of 40, and there's some criteria that they need to meet in terms of ownership. But that is all laid out on the website. The nomination form is on the website. You can go to the particular region and you can nominate anyone that you think would be excellent. And we would really appreciate hearing about all of these incredible people that are out in the countryside. We don't want nominations just to come from inside. We want outside people to recognize others who are fantastic at what they do. And we want to also recognize those people that are doing just a fantastic job day in, day out in Canada for agriculture, which is for everyone. Everybody needs to eat.
We are also passionate about this industry. I know I am as passionate about it as I was when I started my career some 40 years ago. And so it's really excited to hear the energy that you have. So there you have it, folks. Go to the website, the Outstanding Young Farmers of Canada website. Join the community on AgVisor Pro. That's for
Yes.
free. Download AgVisor Pro. Nominate somebody. I think we all know some farmers out there who are quietly successful, quietly innovative, that really should be nominated to this. Get involved. Amy, I'm wishing you all of the best success in the upcoming conference, and we're sure going to throw our shoulder behind supporting the Outstanding Young Farmers of Canada. Thanks for being on the AgVisor podcast.
You're so welcome. I've got the app downloaded and definitely hooking up with Canada's Outstanding Young Farmers through AgVisor Pro, but I've also found other parts of that app quite intriguing and interesting. So thank you for that. And I'm looking forward to working together on this year's national event.
Well, it's going to be a really good conference, and we'll see you in the Hogtown, Toronto. Hey, that's why they call it Toronto, because it used to have a lot of hogs there. So, yeah,
It's true.
there we go.
It's going to be a really great time in Toronto. So I'm looking forward to seeing you there. Thank you.
Thank you, Amy.
Okay, bye.